You cannot go wrong by buying into compound returns. In other words, to build a compoundable base, you have control over the base. And that thing will start working for you over time. I think it was Einstein who said it's the eighth wonder of the world. And I think Charlie Etienne mentioned Charlie or Warren Buffett. One of them said, if you understand compound, you earn it. If you don't, you pay it. So please buy into compound. In other words, you build a base, you're patient, and eventually it happens. Eventually it happens. I often get the comment that to invest in financial markets, especially in South Africa and so on, return is so low. I'm rather going to, and then it's anything from cryptocurrency, to whatever it is. And my counter answer is always, are you sure it's low? Now look at this simple example. If you invested, and I'm picking 1992 for a reason. It was one of those moments in South Africa. It was on a knife's edge, and no one was really sure where this is going. In other words, it's one of those times you say, no, I'll sit on the sideline. I'm not going to invest now. Now imagine you invested 100 Rand. And you did a very simple thing. Say, well, let me split it between South Africa and the world. And I'm not going to become into how much in Japan and Europe and so on. I'm just going to give it to the Americans. 50% in the American index, simple, not going to appoint a fund manager, and 50% in the South African stock market index. And I go home and I start working again. I forget about the money. When you open the file this year now, 32 years later, the 100 Rand became 6,000 bucks, while inflation, 100 Rand in inflation terms, is 600 Rand now. If you're not patient enough, you will probably opt out. And maybe that's why the comment is always the returns aren't high enough, because you leave too early. But just look at this when you hang in for the second half as well. Then you often get the comment, yeah, but you pick a nice 30 years here. Now, there's the 30 years. You got a real return there. By doing two simple things, you diversify between America and South Africa. It wasn't a simple 30 years. Quite a few things happened. Quite a few things. And you still had that return. So guys, if you buy into compound and you're patient enough, your money will surprise you down the line, I tell you now. Whatever happens around you, it will surprise you, but as long as you're patient. The three most difficult things for people here is they don't start early. And the typical excuse is, I don't earn enough yet. But if you go and work for an employer now who has a compulsory contribution, of pension of 15%, and you arrive there on day one, they won't take your answer. I earn too little to save 15. They will take the 15 before you can get your hands on it. Second thing is to do it consistently, not now and then. And then the third thing is not to fiddle with this. Don't try and play markets. We want these magic investments. Guys, there's no magic investment. It's bad news, but there's no magic investment. There's just compound returns, if you're serious about this. Then I want to share with you this red 4 points, and that's what I would call it. First point there is this one. Sounds silly to say, insurance is important. Guys, insurance is really important. Don't play around with landmines down the road. In other words, before you eat every month, just make sure your medical stuff is in order, your life cover is in order, your short-term insurance is in order. Personally, I see insurance as an investment. You invest in a non-accident in your future. In other words, a big chunk of your money disappearing in future because of misfortune. Just pay your premiums. Just pay them. Don't call it grudge purchase. Don't do that. I've seen during COVID, how many people, before COVID canceled their medical funds and stuff like that, their life policies, lifestyle reasons, and then misfortune strikes. I play around with that. It's like insurance premiums for me is like renting a key. Renting a key. And that key will work on a vault one day when you need the money, when there's bad luck in your life. You carry that key with you. And when they steal your car, the key will work. So redefine insurance in your life. It's a really important thing to make sure there's no big holes somewhere in your capital in the future. Second important thing is, please standardize your monthly routine capital creation. Don't think about this. Just do it. Sign off on it. For those of you already in a pension-related product, you probably have signed off 15% already. I'm so glad for you, because you don't think about it anymore. The moment you think about this stuff, you're going to find excuses why cost of living is making this impossible. It's not true, eh? It's just because we got used to it. Don't play games with your future. And it's not this like the retirement story, it's not that. There's no more devastating combination than old age and poverty, I tell you now. Because they keep you alive these days. You're going to live long. And I mean, if you don't look after this now, the misery can be long. Don't play games with that. Now, the problem here is, as long as you leave it at the bottom of your income statement, you're going to have excuses. You're going to run out of pocket because of the cost of living. The breakthrough here is to move it up. Even to before tax, with all the tax-saving products there are out there and retirement-related things. Move it up your income statement. So my question is this morning, at which line of your income statement are your investments? How far up or far down? If it's too far down to your liking, move it up. Hang in and move it up. I know it's a cost of living adjustment then, and a lifestyle adjustment, but just do it. It's good sleep you're buying yourself. And it will be fantastic if you buy into this as a household as well. Number 3 there, never be caught out of pocket when it comes to cash. Many businesses closed in COVID, good businesses. Not because they're bad businesses, because they didn't have cash. In other words, they didn't believe in having cash. Have a cash buffer. And I mean, 2 basic reasons I would suggest to you to have a cash buffer. I would make sure I have something like 6 to 9 months of living expenses in a proper money market account with one of the big banks. Boring, eh? But just do it. And to make sure all the capital expenses you're going to incur going overseas or painting the roof or whatever it is over the next 12 to 18 months, have it in cash. If you don't have it in cash, you're going to dip into expensive credit called a card. And it's very expensive. Over a lifetime, the habit, prime plus 10 is really expensive. Don't look down on cash. I still think, although it's a disappearing commodity to see money in its real form, I think cash remains king when the chips are down. And then number 4 there is, if you still have debt, chip away at it faster than you should. Just nail it. Get rid of debt. It's one of the highest returns, for every rand of debt you don't have to earn R1.50. And I think I'm conservative because it's interest you don't have to earn. It's living costs you don't have to earn. It's tax. For every R1, you don't have to earn R1.50. Chip away at debt. So ask yourself, that's your private answer only. What's your target date? When do you want to be out of debt? What's your target date? Have one.